As a parent, you know there are so many opportunities out there for your child or YACK. Things like job connections, internships, scholarships, network connections, leadership training, sports, music, talent scouts. So many opportunities. How do we support them in their endeavors? How do we help them to take advantage of programs, people, opportunities for future success? I'm going to share 6 ways that we can keep our child or YACK motivated and moving in the right direction. Hey, it's J. Dawn Mom here, grown mom with grown kids. Each week I share a vlog of my life as a MOYA, a mother of young adults, as well as flashback videos of things I did with my children when they were growing up. Things we did, traditions, things that worked and things that didn't over 3 decades of raising 6 kids. So today, I've got 6 things to share with you so we can keep our kids motivated and moving in the right direction. Number 1, teach them to network. Ask around and do research. Help them write down things and make lists of opportunities they may be interested in. Areas they may have a talent in, a sport, music, maybe the spoken word, or perhaps a job opportunity in a field that they're interested in. Ways that they can make connections, help them to write these things down so that they can take advantage of so many opportunities. Number 2, help them meet the deadlines. Without meeting the deadline, there's no way to win the race. You have to actually be in on it. Especially if you have a procrastinator, you have an unmotivated, I don't feel like it kind of person. You gotta help them get motivated, move, and get that deadline met. So often our children and even our YACKs, they don't understand the long-term ramifications of missing a deadline. They don't understand that if I take the time to do it now, I will reap the benefits later. That long-term thinking, a lot of times is just not there. And frankly, from a purely physiological standpoint, brains, they need a lot of time to fully develop, especially that cause and effect section. This is the area where some parental pressure can really come in handy. And I strongly urge you to utilize all the influence and all the parental pressure you have. So you want to head out to hang out with friends at the mall. Why don't you go ahead and get that application finished first? Oh, we're meeting for lunch on Saturday. Hey, why don't you bring your finished application and I'll look it over for you? Throw in some ways to help motivate them to get those deadlines met. You know how when you just don't feel like doing something, but then when the time comes to actually do the event, to begin the program, start the training, reap the benefit, you regret having not made the deadline? Our kids do the same thing. Matter of fact, I'd love to hear some comments below of experiences you had. Number 3, help motivate them to act. Yes, they need to take action. This stuff is not just going to do itself. Help them break the bigger task into smaller bite-sized portions with dates attached to them so they know each little section gets done by a certain time. You might work backwards from the final deadline and kind of reverse engineer your way back and see what things need to be done each day, each week, each month until you get to the final deadline. Reward their progress as they're moving through each of the different tasks. Talk about the end result. Dream a little. What are they looking for? Is it a trophy? A prize? Maybe cash? Maybe it's a resume builder or bragging rights. Whatever it is, take a picture, draw something, make a meme, hang up a poster, something, a sticky note to help them feel motivated towards getting to that goal. Number 4, don't do the work for them. Let them do their own work. This is a character building thing here. You've got to push yourself, persevere, get some fortitude to get these things done. Helping them meet the deadline? Yes. But doing the task for them? No. We can help support them, but they have to put in the work, the effort themselves. They have to feel the pressure and have some accountability for what it is they're trying to do. This is where character grows, where you're stretched and you're allowed to learn a little bit more about yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, what you try that works and what doesn't work, so that you can grow as a person. They will learn an awful lot about themselves during these types of activities. Number 5, let them fail. Yes, parents, this is probably the hardest one, to let them fail. Failure is life's great teacher. It's the instructor of all. Live and learn. Fall, get back up. Or stay down and learn something about that too. Parents, we cannot steal this crucial learning experience from our children. Sometimes we just need to fail. And as hard as that is to watch as a parent, think about the sacrifice you make to allow them to grow in this way. Tough it out and stand to the side and allow our children to grow, succeed, and fail. It might help to think of some life lessons you learned through failure. Think back, take a moment. For me, I definitely remember trying out for Majorettes, which is a baton twirling team in high school. We had to make up our own routines, and I remember there were so many great moves I wanted to include, so I included all of them. The routine was so complex and just so much to remember. That, coupled with another memory in junior high school when we had to memorize a poem. I chose The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. Those of you who know anything about that poem, it is very, very long. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over many a quaint and curious fossil of forgotten lore, while I stood there nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, rapping at my chamber door. Only this and nothing more. Yes, that's just the intro. This poem went on page after page, verse after verse. I memorized probably a good 80% of it, but I'll tell you what, when I got towards the end, I was stumbling around quite a bit. Yes, I did make the majorette team, but that routine, it did not show me in the best light. And yes, I did get a pretty decent grade on my Raven poem, mostly because it was such an ambitious project for me to take on that my teacher gave me extra credit for taking on such a challenge. But I'll tell you what I learned from both of those experiences. I learned that I like to include lots of stuff. I like to have that variety, and that variety spreads me out a little too thin. What I learned from that is to focus in and do one thing or two things really, really well, rather than a lot of things mediocre. Lesson learned. Wouldn't have learned it otherwise, and these are the types of things we want our kids to learn as they're going through and failing at things. Failure is in the eye of the beholder. I'd love to hear some comments below of some things you did, some experiences you had that you would deem a failure, that taught you something awesome. And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. So here we are at the last thing that we can do to help our child or yak move forward and excel. Number 6 is to encourage them to try again. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Look for some more opportunities. Try something else. The one you tried may not have suited you well. Maybe it wasn't a good fit. Explore some different interests, passions, talents, weaknesses, and strengths. And as a parent, go ahead and share some of your experiences growing up, things that you failed at, and you can help show your child how great a teacher failure really is. So, how do we help our children to move forward in these different opportunities? My youngest daughter, Ariyanna, participated in a debutante program, and she just had her beautiful debutante ball. It was so amazing to see all those young ladies dressed up so beautifully and being presented to the world. Each debutante needed to have a chief marshal, in this case, her dad, and a junior marshal, and for Ari, it was her brother Jonah. The program did have quite a few requirements. There was some effort to be made. There was a sponsorship fee that each young lady needed to secure, which results in a scholarship for them to use in college next year. There were deadlines to be met, gowns and gloves and shoes, community service projects, dance lessons. They all had to participate in the practices and learn the dances and learn where to stand and how to present the debutantes. It did take some effort. It was quite a bit of time. But when the night finally came and it was time to present Ariyanna, boy did she look beautiful, as did all of the young debutantes in the program. And as a parent, I needed to help Ariyanna to meet those deadlines. And I'll tell you what, it wasn't easy all the time. Sometimes it felt like pulling teeth to get her to do the things that she needed to do. But being 17 years old, it's easy to say, I don't feel like going to that today, or I don't feel like doing the work I need to do on this. Again, as parents, we know the benefit from programs such as these. And when it's time to go to an event or go to a practice or do a community service project and she just doesn't feel like doing it, that's the time to kick in and help to encourage, push her and engage her so that she gets it done. So by the end, when it's time for the ball, time to shine in the limelight and be presented as the debutante that she is, she can enjoy that time. Parents, we need to encourage them just a little further till they get to the finish line.